Hi there everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. This is companion video to the Slick Rick Relationships video that I just put out. I went out and took my dog outside to play. It's below zero, it's freaky cold. You know, the mass of the United States right now is under some pretty severe weather warnings. So duh, you know, that I dress for where I need to go. So I worked out my zipper issue on my vest and got it all figured out and everything. And I'm out there playing with my dog. He's all sweatered up, you know, it's below zero, but we dress for where we are. We dress for alchemy at our house. We dress for success. So when it's sub-zero, we act like it is and we put on all the stuff, all the barriers to the cold. So went down there, and as I was thinking about that I'm playing with my dog and I look over, and in the community, there's a young woman, she's wearing shorts. All right, you know, I don't want to be judgy. I'm sorry, that was kind of a snitty, shitty old lady kind of thing to say, but you know, it's just like, why would you come out here and risk that? It's not even close. It's not even questionable. That's one of those that, you know, if you fall down and become immobile, all of a sudden you're a EMS provider's worst nightmare or their joke for the rest of the day. You know, why would you do that? But trying not to be too judgy and snarky about it. And like, why am I noticing this girl? Why do I care? You know, other than I'm gonna run inside right quick before she falls down and breaks her leg, you know? No, not really. But it just, you know, it struck me that why would you not dress for success? That's a hazard. That's, you know, you're fighting the odds against Mother Nature. And, you know, it might be fun to say, well, I made it out there for a half an hour with my shorts on. However, well, you know, maybe another mountain to conquer. For all I know, though, that young woman got all kinds of stuff and it's none of my business. So really, that's what I was struggling with, is why do I care? What kind of a dialogue am I going into about the behavior of someone that I don't even know? And I really just don't want to care, so why do I care? And what came to me was, you're not done with the video series that you're going to be doing here on the 1 and 2 in the companion video to Slick Rick Relationships. And if you haven't seen that, let me give you a quick brief. The deal with the Slick Rick Relationships video one was that I mentioned that there's a matriarch in my family, former family. I have no contact with anybody from a former life. I spiritually woke, whoop, you know, the alarm went off and I went, and started running. So, and putting up boundaries badly for a long time, but I got them down now. So, anyway, I was mentioning that this matriarch had made some comments to me in my life once when I was on a ventilator in intensive care. She's a minister and she was providing healing, and said that she had seen Archangel Michael behind me. This is a significant woman from life, okay, that I've known her my whole life, you know, every day of it. So a significant matriarch from my former family. So, you know, when she's talking and saying, yeah, it seems reasonable that you'd be one of the two that would show up, you know, in that kinfolk thing of when I was nearly dead. You know, that makes sense, your close family, along with my own, you know. And she made the comment that Archangel Michael was right behind me, you know, over me, and that she instructed him to let me know that it was okay if I just wanted to go ahead and, you know, exit. If I didn't want to come back, it was all right. And that's how it was explained to be. Not that I was to be making my own choice. It's that you can tell her if she needs to go on ahead and punch out, she can. It's all right. You can tap out. It's okay. You know, we'll understand. And it struck me as weird. And so that video is about that. And then later, as I was going through a divorce, pick up new knowledge on this. This is where it starts new, to add information. I was going through divorce, and this very woman decided that my ex-husband seemed like he was making more sense, which, you know, for me personally, folks, I'm a loyal person. So when other people in my family got divorced or, you know, go through divorce or something, we're not friends. Whoever the divorcee is of that, we're not friends anymore. You instantly became deleted from my phone. I don't keep the phone numbers of exes, you know, of people that I love or people that have harmed or hurt those that I love. So I certainly don't sit around and, you know, share holidays and stuff with an ex somebody, especially an ex-marital partner. That just seems absurd to me. So I was struggling already with, you know, what is that? And I don't quite get the loyalty thing here that I've noticed over the last couple of years. But anyway, so I was trying to deal with the fact that my whole family's hopped out, taken on with my ex-husband. I'm the idiot, I'm the crazy, and people are starting to get really mean. I don't understand this. And this is divulging some pretty personal information, and I'm doing it as respectfully as I possibly can, because I really kept getting the urgent reassurance inside that this is somebody else's story, just besides just yours. You're one person on a planet full of 8 billion, 444, give or take a few billion. I mean, once you're up over 1 or 2, you know, just add another couple. But you're on a planet with a whole bunch of other people, and there's other people that can learn and grow from this, hopefully. And if nothing else, you were just asked to stick to the discipline and make this video and keep on moving. And so here I am. So anyway, I was really trying to understand, and I was talking to this matriarch person, you know, significant person, and she, at some point, we were just talking, and I was trying to repair this relationship because I was really feeling creeped out by it, and, you know, having a real problem with it, but I was trying, and it wasn't going well to try to speak to directly, you know, one-on-one, and so I was, you know, motoring through that as much as I could, that, you know, you're sharing meals with my ex-husband, this is really a problem for me, I don't, you know, that's a loyalty issue, and now I don't know what I can say to you and what I can't, and you're closely related to that one, and she's super mean, and she's over here, you know, I mean, there was just a lot of triangulation and miscommunication, lying, I mean, thievery, all kinds of just terrible behavior that I couldn't understand. And, you know, I'm like, I don't get this. This seems like, you know, that people who have told me that they were this, that, or the other, and that I believe that they were this, that, or the other all these years, you know, that if they were that, they wouldn't be doing this. What is this? Somebody please make sense to me. You know, I don't understand. Well, putting into context that I already know that I'm 10 years ago on a deathbed, and I've got Archangel Michael that's been gifted the, you know, opportunity to dispatch a message that it's okay if you need to die. Okay, and then fast forward to you're hanging out on holidays with my ex-husband. I'm trying to work on this, and it's really, you know, the investment that I'm putting into this is growing less and less and less interesting to me, because I'm thinking I just need to peel out and peel off, you know, and really get away from this because it's highly dangerous, and it was. So I'm there talking and trying to ask, you know, some things about this person. Let's see if we can angle this another way that I can bring some healing with this, and maybe, you know, offer some space where we have some safe communication and we can start working from there. You know, let's go with what we have, which has been ripped down. I don't trust you. You don't trust me, maybe. I don't know. But let's see if we can start over and we'll rebuild with some better materials, you know? No, thank you. I'm not interested is really what I got, because I'm talking and I'm getting kind of resistance. And, you know, when I finally turned it around and we started talking about some creative ideas or whatever, it just stopped, and she said, "You really are an angel." And that struck weird with me. See the other video, you know, for full explanation, because I don't want to just keep repeating myself. But that struck me as weird because I didn't know anything about earth angels, spiritual warfare, or anything else. I just knew about the love and light of energy, because that's what I'd been told already. You know, we didn't do religion. We don't do religion anymore. We've been elevated to spirituality now, and we understand a whole lot more. You know, except that I didn't understand enough about understanding a whole lot more. You need to understand the white light, and then that other stuff that's not white light. You need to understand the good and the bad, the positive and the negative of energy management, energy sourcing, and, you know, throwing it around in magical ways. So, and I come from dark people. I mean, these are dark people. Some of my family members are very known to have been very much occult, and I don't have a problem with it. It's just, if you're being occult and you're nasty, we're not here doing that together. That's not what I'm doing. So, I mean, I was aware that there was, you know, someone that was closely tied to the situation said something about having to do a spell to cast a demon from their home, and I thought, you know, this is really weird. You know, this is all happening. My marriage is breaking apart, and people are starting to say stuff that, you know, this is disturbing to me. And beautiful that they said it, because it took me right, you know, into ascension in a more aggressive way, like way more assertive. I suddenly got real invested in figuring out what the was going on, because I was literally dying. I felt like I was, you know, on the edge all the time, because my neurology couldn't put up with it. I was having seizures, you know, autistic burnout, frying routinely. My body's, you know, quaking and twerking and quirking. I can't eat. I'm down to like 115 pounds, which sounds really neat, except I was hungry, you know, just hungry, starving, and thirsty. I mean, every time I would go somewhere and get to a new place of I could finally reach peace and quiet with myself, something else would give out. You know, I couldn't eat anymore and have that work, or I couldn't walk anymore and have that be stable. It was like every time I reached a new plateau, something else started, and I thought, you know, this is too weird. And when I allowed myself to look at the possibility that, yeah, you need to really probably investigate the idea that if you got somebody that's talking about closing a portal to demons over at their house, that means they opened it somehow. And they either opened it consciously or unconsciously. And however they're doing it, if they're unconscious, it's dangerous. And if they're opening it consciously, then they're dangerous. And you need to know what the hell is going on here, because there's way too many weird things. And I kept having these bizarre dreams and lucid dreaming experiences that probably should have scared me. And some of them really weirded me out. However, I just knew that, oh no, Spirit is with me now. I made that. However, what the F is that? You know, and where's it coming from? And I couldn't possibly wrap my mind around the idea that, oh, that's coming from people who say they love you. They say they're, you know, for you, they're down for you, and, you know, they're your family, a matriarch especially, both of them female. So anyway, tight. I mean, the only people that I really knew my whole life, you know, for the most part, that long. So I started really looking around. And you know, what finally happened is I realized that one of those people actually looked at me and accused me of being the devil. Whenever I said, I don't understand, you know, you've taken up a new interest in religion in a way that you really never have. I mean, that's not your style, and you never have. You've been anti, you know, that. We were more of that love, light, joy thing. You know, we were more of those, the bubbles and stuff. When did that happen? I don't understand. When you hit so hard, you know, in very conservative, very, very, very conservative religion, and now you're judging me. I don't understand this, because this person is gay. And I said, I don't understand how you're able to justify that in your church. And that person went off the wall. I mean, she came at me and was going to absolutely rip my throat out. And I said, hold up a second. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I wasn't meaning to be mean. I'm trying to understand, how do you 11:11, how can you go to church without being killed? Because you're talking about some pretty, you know, aggressive ideas here in the church that you're going to. And I'm not understanding. It's not a matter that I don't care. I know all the things here on this table about you. I'm aware, and I don't care. I'm not judging or making comments about your sexuality. I could care less, you know, never have cared. One way or the other. It's just confusing me, because you've suddenly gone far right, and you're, you know, could you explain that to me? And it really took some management in that minute, 11:44, for that person, for me to be eyeball to eyeball with them of, I don't know why you're coming at me, but I'm not challenging you. But it was some very, very dark and like eyeballs that freaked me the boop right out. I mean, absolutely went, ew, no. And I, you know, that ended. And I only saw that person one time after that, and those eyeballs didn't shift one bit. And I sat down at that table for about 15-20 minutes and went, gotta go, and left, and never looked back, never seen any of them again. So that's the first thing, right? Add that in with, you know, I'm going through divorce, you've already been breaking bread, and now, you know, you're coming at me with some demon eyeballs, and I don't like that. You know, whatever's going on in your world, it's okay. It's just, I don't want to be involved in that. I got my own shit I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to survive over here, and you're talking about, you know, opening up a portal and closing a portal and stuff I know nothing about. And so I started really looking into that thing, idea that these are people that could be doing stuff. Kate, don't be so bold as to believe that someone would be all love, light, and joy and full of shit, because they already are. I mean, they're telling you, they're showing you their inconsistencies. They're telling you, they're letting you know, I'm, you know, a holy person, and I'm racist as you know what. You know, the Browns from out of towns don't deserve to be here. And there's a whole lot of judgment, a whole lot of snark, and these are people who are breaking bread with somebody who's actively causing you harm. You know, what is going on here? So I lost my mind for a little bit, but, you know, and I separated even more. But what finally happened, and this is what, you know, the companion to it without the other person, was that I was in the hospital. My body was on autistic fry-out. I mean, I was burning. My neurology could not handle what was going on. And I started having twitches, glitches, and neurological issues for a minute, like seizures and all kinds of weird stuff. And so I ended up at a hospital where I had no one as an emergency contact, for a very deliberate reason, because I was already thinking, no, you went to a neurology appointment with me and got all kinds of busy, and I'm not going to ever invite you into my medical decisions again. That was my bad in the past, that you had that kind of latitude. Get out. So I ran from that and went on going. But I'm there having, you know, this weird experience. My face is pressed up against the bed rails of a hospital bed, an emergency room that I didn't ask to go to. I just asked for somebody to please come and physically help me out for a few days so that my neurology can take a rest, you know, and I don't have to worry about spending 30 minutes trying to get my dogs to the door so they can go outside, you know, to the backyard. It's exhausting. That's all I asked for. But I ended up, you know, at the hospital, which induced this whole thing. And this person came in and directed, the nurse came in and said, well, what can we do about this? This seems like a real problem. She's a fall risk. She's this, that, and the other. It's been an ongoing problem. And this person who assumed the role of, being somebody that could make my medical decisions. This is why it's critical that light workers understand this. This woman said, well, I guess we're just going to have to put her into an adult facility, an assisted living facility. Now, my face is pressed up against, the metal bars. You'd think that maybe you'd move my face off of that, just a thought. But I'm there with my face pressed up going, I don't hear this, but the meds haven't kicked in enough that I can articulate, get the out of here. So a few more minutes go by and I'm just listening as I'm willing myself, God, please make all of that medicine work even faster so that I can open up my mouth before somebody starts bringing papers in here for a conservatorship or some other such bullshit to come enter my life. Please make this work and make it work fast. And I started to get, more ability to speak and sit up and get my face off the rails of the bed. How cruel and inhumane. But whatever. I mean, she didn't put me there, but the hospital staff did. It was awful. And they dropped me on the ground, by the way, before I ever made it. Yeah, you can walk. Okay. So anyway, I willed it. I mean, literally, or God just made it happen, or the meds finally kicked in. However it happened, man. I finally got enough ability to go, excuse me. And I looked at her and I said, you need to leave the room, please, and close the door. And I looked at the lady and I said, no, there's nobody that has medical decision. What is wrong with you? And they, no, that's an absolute not going to happen. And so that person came back in. I mean, she was frosty, and I saw those eyeballs just like the ones that had come flying at me, at the other place. I'm like, I'm done looking at demon eyeballs. These are just freaking me out and I can't thoroughly explain them. I just know that I don't care what kind of relationship we used to have. Those are eyeballs that I've seen those before, and they look even worse than they ever did in their worst iteration as I was growing up over 50 years, and I'm done. I'm tired of being terrified of whatever the hell that is. Now that I know that, yeah, that's pretty much a you thing, that's not me. Demons don't live in my eyeballs when I'm looking at people. I've never had anybody say that to me, that, damn, Kate, you really frightened me with that. However, I kept saying that you are frightening me. Stop that, and so, no, okay, then I'm just going to leave. So I looked at that person and I said, no, absolutely not. I said, we're done, thank you very much. And she said, well, I'll just take you home and we'll get your stuff and we'll go back to my house. And I said, no, absolutely not. That's not going to be how that happens, that I'm not going to, and it was urgent. You hear me? My soul was just urgently screaming, do not allow yourself to be taken to someone's home where your phone's going to be removed and all your everything, and you got a history of people, calling you crazy and putting you into the hospital. You're going to end up with a conservatorship, and it had been going in that direction anyway. So that is why it is critically important that we as light workers and starseeds are God's people who are doing God's work. Know that people that are on demon time, they're interested in crushing it and killing it, and they will go to any length that they need to get it done of what they're willing to do. And I just had no idea because I was so gullible. Like, girl, you come from dark ass background. You got, grannies back there that have been doing some stuff. And ever since I left that and started really perfecting more of my psychic skills and my clairvoyance, I've learned stuff about, oh God, that's what that's attached to. So, yes, it could be said that I'm just making stuff up or whatever. However, it lines up very much so with eyeballs that seem to be consistent with, this is the whole field here of dark and nasty, and why it's critically important to recognize that stuff. Otherwise, I would be dead by now. If other people had been allowed to make decisions in my life while I was incapacitated and unable to, I would be dead, or I would be sitting in a mental health facility long-term for the rest of my life, state mental health facility, or I'd be sitting in an adult living facility, probably, dead, because I would have already been turfed out with the first COVID that went through Florida. So, these are very, very vitally important times for people to be aware of the dangers. And I'm not into being afraid. I wasn't afraid, I was pissed, trying to understand that, oh my God, I've been here trying to learn and hang out and be kind and stuff to people that are trying to kill me. What is wrong with this situation? I got to go. So that's really why I'm saying this. It's a whole lot of personal information, and it seems like, it's just too much to put out there. However, I want everybody to know, I'm not protecting dark, nasty, hateful energy anymore. I'm not holding lies in my mouth about people. If you're awful, you're awful. You know, you deserve to not be awful. However, that's you that decides that, not me, 1919. And I can't be on any other awareness other than what I see and what I smell, what I, you know, get the whole picture of. No, when I saw that whole pig pen coming towards me and it was like, had teeth and eyeballs, I'm like, no, that's from a whole dimension of just demon shit that I don't want to deal with. I don't care if it's the lineage, I don't care. And those people are related. So, you know, and they know. All I know is that it seems reasonable and it's right. There's always a light worker in one of those little nut rolls. That's what we do, is we break shit apart. That's what we're about. You know, we're the disruptors. We disrupt by virtue of the fact that we're standing in truth. Liars are going to have a problem with it. They're going to sit down and get busy in their magic spell books and in their kitchen and weird shit and graveyards and all kinds of stuff if they're inclined to do that. Now, I do not have any direct, you know, understanding of the one person having, you know, hands-on of witchcraft or anything like that. However, the one told me outright, and she hangs out with other people who are into that stuff. Oh yeah, I had to have so-and-so come over here and show me how to get rid of that thing. And I was like, what is this person saying? You know, what does she mean? I don't understand that. I found out very quickly that, oh, I got it. She opened up a portal. One way or the other, a portal was open to either expel what she'd already invited in, or to invite more in of what she was really digging already. I don't know. All I know is that that comment came around the same time that there was sharp, rapid change in behavior. So if anybody wants to talk to me about the light worker and, you know, their life mission and how it's a dangerous place to be sometimes, it is. It's only dangerous if we don't know that that's what we are, because we can be taking hits and have no idea that you are this close to dead if you don't realize that you're in the war zone. That's not a green zone, baby. You're in combat. So act like it and get the hell out of there and never look back. So I don't know, 2112, I don't know how this is helpful or why it seems so, or why it is so urgent. It didn't seem so urgent. I kept saying, oh, that's a lot of personal business. I don't want to really be putting it out there like that. And that I would, well, okay. I don't get the latitude to disobey, you know, myself. It doesn't seem like it's as relevant to have the first video and just say, well, this is just some weird stuff that somebody said to me. Well, this is weird stuff that somebody said to me and then tried to do to me to stop me from my mission. People are pissed. The, you know, battle of good and evil, the demons and the angels, however that you assimilate that information, obviously the whole planet's at war with itself and one another. And I'm not on that time. I don't have time to listen to anybody else that is doing something besides working to solve the problem. And when I really could get over the idea that, well, no, that couldn't be that, because that person is so-and-so and that person is so-and-so, and they come across, you know, short and, you know, very docile and, you know, an older person, they would never do that. They wouldn't be on demon time. And, you know, the sad fact is that people absolutely are where they are and they know what they know. And when you smell it, see it, taste it, touch it, and it's trying to throw you into, you know, a place where you're no longer going to have any sovereignty at all and probably end up giving up, that's the hope anyway, then girl, it's time for you to go. What are you waiting for? You know, are you waiting to catch on fire before there's enough information about this? And you know what? My health and everything else about my life improved dramatically, almost instantly, whenever that night was over and I said, no, absolutely not. You know, that is not how we're going. And if I can't trust you to take me home, I'm going to Uber. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck how I get in my home. I don't care if I have to crawl. I'll be fine. That's how I'm rolling, but I'm definitely not, no, going to your house? No, absolutely not. So there you go. I hope that you are well no matter what part of the day you're in. And remember, get within your skin, because you're divine. It is absolutely fine, and do whatever you need to protect it all of the time. And that's being aware of what's really around you, what is really truly around you, and understanding on an energetic level that it can look a whole lot different than the thing that's presenting. You know, it can look a whole lot different. People can look very sweet and kind, and they may even act that way. However, if it's hollow, notice that it's hollow, because if it's hollow and they don't like what you're saying when you start waking up and telling the truth, that hollow will fill up with rage and try to kill you sometimes. So be careful. So that's enough of that. Take care of yourselves, as I said, and get within your skin, because you're divine. It's absolutely fine. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye, friends.